Considering getting online using 3 4G broadband? In this video, we've reviewed the 3 4G hub to see if it's any good, and to see whether you should buy 4G home broadband from 3. Before we begin, make sure to click the link in the description to the 3 website to see if you can get their 4G or 5G broadband service at your address. Just come to the coverage checker, which we've linked below, and put in your postcode to see if you can get their wireless broadband where you live. Let's get started. So when you buy the 4G hub, this is what you get in the box. You get this Wi-Fi router, except it takes a SIM card rather than plugging into your phone socket or broadband port. The SIM card is included in the box, and it comes with unlimited data. You also get an Ethernet cable, and this is the power cable for the router. So when you buy, you'll enter into a 24-month contract, but there's a 30-day money-back guarantee. So once you set up the router, you can see what its speeds are like before you commit to a contract. Once everything's set up, we'll explain what this involves in the next section. The router will create a Wi-Fi hotspot you can use to get online, just like any traditional broadband router. And you can also plug devices into the router directly, such as computers or games consoles, using the Ethernet cable. There's 4 Ethernet ports on the back of the router. So when your 3 4G broadband package arrives in the mail, here's how you get set up. The first thing you do is take the SIM card and punch it out of its little card here. Then just slide it into the slot on the router. It'll click into place when it's in the right position. Then all you need to do is plug the router into power. You don't need to connect it to anything else, since it gets online wirelessly using the 4G SIM card you just installed. The router will then set itself up, connect to 4G, and then create a Wi-Fi hotspot you can use to get online, with up to 64 devices at once. Overall, we found this process to be pretty straightforward. You can normally begin getting online in about 15 or 20 minutes or so. There's no engineer visit necessary, which isn't always the case when switching fibre broadband providers. You can do the whole setup process yourself without having to book in an engineer visit. When setting up this router, there's one little extra step that you don't normally have to take when going live with fibre broadband. When you use wireless internet, the positioning of the router can make a big difference to your download and upload speeds. So it can be really good to try different positions to see where the router is picking up the best signal. In general, an upstairs windowsill is the best place because it's nice and high up and towards the edge of the house, allowing the router to get a more direct line of sight to the nearest 4G mast. But it's good to experiment with a few different positions if you don't know where the nearest mast is. Even just moving the router a few meters, or even a few centimeters, can make a big difference to your signal. Just something to be aware of when setting it up. So currently, the router 3 is shipping on their 4G broadband deals is a ZTE MC286D. When it comes to Wi-Fi, this router comes with dual band Wi-Fi 5 with a 2.4 GHz and a 5 GHz connection. Overall, the Wi-Fi performance of this router is good, but it could be better. For example, 3 also sells 5G broadband deals, and the routers they include with these deals normally come with Wi-Fi 6, which is a newer, updated Wi-Fi standard that offers better speeds and signal compared to Wi-Fi 5. Using this router, we generally got better Wi-Fi signal, especially at long distance, as well as faster speeds. But most of the reason for that is just because this router supports 5G instead of just 4G signal. Remember, click the link in the description to come to the 3 website and see if you can get their 5G broadband service. It's the same link as their 4G broadband deals. You just put in your postcode on their coverage checker, which we've linked to, and they'll show you whether you can get 4G or 5G broadband at your address. So what sort of download and upload speeds can you expect with 3 4G broadband? In general, a download speed of about 30 to 40 megabits per second is pretty typical, although it can spike a bit higher than this. And you can expect an upload speed of about 7 to 12 megabits per second, or thereabouts. The exact speeds you'll get will depend on 3's 4G signal at your address, which is why they offer a 30-day money-back guarantee on their routers, so that you can test what the speeds are like at your address and send the router back within 30 days if you're not quite happy with the speeds. 30 to 40 megabits per second is plenty for most internet activities, including watching high-definition video on apps like YouTube, Netflix, or Amazon Prime, and even streaming 4K Ultra HD video. Other activities like social media and web browsing will also be really smooth. The only place you can begin to run into problems with these sorts of download speeds are if you have a lot of people getting online at home at the same time. If a lot of people are often streaming video on different devices at the same time, you'd probably want more download speed than this. Otherwise, you might get buffering, and the overall experience won't be great. That's why, if you can get it, the 5G hub is a much better choice than using 3's 4G broadband service. It generally offers download speeds at least 10 times as fast from our testing, and despite this, it's often actually cheaper than the 3 4G hub, or it might cost about the same. So make sure to come to the 3 website, which we've linked in the description, to put in your postcode to see if you can get their 5G broadband service on your street. And one of the downsides to wireless broadband is its latency is normally a bit higher compared to using fibre. When using the 3 4G hub, you can normally expect a latency of about 30 to 40 milliseconds, compared to the 10 to 20 milliseconds, which is typical when using fibre. But despite this, 3 4G broadband still offers a smooth experience when online gaming. We've tested it extensively, playing a lot of different, quite ping-sensitive games, like Rocket League. We'd normally experience a ping to the closest server of about 40 milliseconds, which isn't low, but it's not extremely high either. The good thing was though, we never experienced any lag spikes, and gameplay was really smooth. We were able to play well, even on quite ping-sensitive games. If you are playing something ping-sensitive, like Battlefield, Call of Duty, or Fortnite, it's a good idea to plug into the router directly using an Ethernet cable instead of using Wi-Fi. We found that this could lower our ping a fair bit and make it more consistent. But if you're playing games on something like a Nintendo Switch or a Steam Deck, there's no issues using Wi-Fi when gaming with this router, even when playing online games. Your ping will be a bit higher than using fibre, but from our testing, the experience is really smooth. One of the biggest strengths of 3 4G broadband is its value for money. Currently, it costs £24 a month, which is cheaper than most fibre broadband plans, and there's no upfront fees either, making this router a pretty economical choice. Although the download speeds aren't as fast as you can normally get using fibre, assuming you have full fibre broadband at your address, there are other advantages to the 3 4G hub. The first is, as we mentioned, getting set up is really easy. You don't need to schedule a technician to come around, and you can normally get online really quickly. The other is, you can pick up your 4G hub and use it basically anywhere in the country, as long as you have 3 4G signal. You're not limited to just using this router at home, because it uses the mobile network to get online, meaning you could take it on holiday with you if you wanted to. If you're looking for a simple, cheap way to get online that's easy to set up, 3 4G broadband is definitely worth looking at. It offers reasonably fast download speeds, faster than what you can get with ADSL internet at most addresses, and it even offers a good experience when gaming. But if you can get it, we'd definitely recommend the 3 5G hub over their 4G broadband service. It costs the same, or is sometimes a bit cheaper, offers better Wi-Fi, and much faster download speeds, while still coming with unlimited data and a 30-day money-back guarantee. Remember, click the link in the description to go to the 3 website and use their coverage checker to see if you can get their 4G or 5G broadband service at your address. And if you have any questions about the 3 4G hub or 5G hub, leave a comment and we'll respond as soon as we can.